Good afternoon, guys. This is your friendly neighborhood working, bringing you a quick Bitcoin update Sunday afternoon, July 8th. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. We're looking at BTC USD pairing on Coinbase. I've got the 4-hour chart up now. Guys, last time I said that we were operating within a nice little wedge here, and I expected price to break up or down at any moment. That was yesterday's update. I said if price broke in the up direction, we're more than likely going to find resistance at the supply zone between 6750, 6800. That's definitely what happened. We can see price came up, wicked above it to about 6842, and then was quickly rejected by the bears. And now price is just kind of consolidating below this resistance zone at about 6750 thereabouts. Question is, which way is price going to break, up to the up or to the downside, guys? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of a pullback. If I pull out here to the daily chart, we can see that there is a little bit of a demand zone that developed right in this area. So I wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of unfilled buy orders, more than likely sitting right in this zone. Wouldn't be surprised to see price pull back to about 6550 or thereabouts, come back up and retest the supply zone. And hopefully the supply zone can only get tested so many times, guys. It's been tested quite a few times back, back in June. Quite a few times back in June, once, twice, and 3 times now. I wouldn't be surprised to see if eventually its price is going to break through there. So it's just a matter of getting the momentum, and we need to see the volume, the follow through with volume. And volume, unfortunately, has been relatively weak compared to this, guys. So we haven't seen a massive spike in volume. That is very disappointing. We do need to see a massive spike in volume if we are going to have a longer term bull run. But for now, guys, I'm expecting just a slightly pullback and then a continuation to the upside. If we don't get the pullback, then that's going to be a very bearish sign. If we don't get the pullback, that's going to be a very bullish sign if we just bust right through here. But time will tell. As of now, the volume just doesn't suggest that that's going to happen. If this demand zone down here does break, I'm expecting it to fall down to the 6400 to 6330 supply zone. I told you yesterday that there's a good chance that we may get just some consolidation between this resistance and support. Until we do figure out which, if the bulls or the bears are going to take control of this market, which one is. As far as our Elliott count, guys, which way or how am I counting this? As I said yesterday, guys, there's a couple different ways I'm counting this, and I'm kind of, based on price movement over the last 24 hours, I'm kind of reevaluating my count. Let me just draw it out for you here very quickly, guys. In fact, let me get a drink of water. Stand by. Okay, sorry about that, guys. As you can see, I went ahead and drew this out here. I believe we are in 5 waves up. If this is, in fact, the correct count, this was a leading diagonal. In case those of you that are wondering why wave 4 overlaps wave 1, that can happen in a leading diagonal. In fact, it often does. The question is, well, obviously, this is some kind of a correction. This little area right in here, this is clearly some kind of consolidation / correction. The question is, are we looking at an A, B, C, D, E, or are we looking at an A, B, C? And the answer is, it depends on how you draw this. And my primary count, I believe that we are in an A, B, C, D, E. I believe this is what's called a running triangle, which just means that the B wave goes up higher than the beginning of the A wave or the top of wave 5. And that would jive with this wedge that we saw yesterday. So this is just called a running triangle, guys. We've got an A, B, C, D, E, where the B wave comes higher than the start of wave 5, and then we had a breakout to begin our first impulse wave up. I'm making that my primary count just based on this perfect wedge and just based on how that draws out almost perfectly, almost a textbook running triangle there. And this being the up wave. Now, we may see, as I said, we may see a little bit of a pullback into this demand zone here, and then continuation to the upside. That would not invalidate this if we do, or we may just see a continuation up. That'd be a very bullish sign if we do, guys. We need to break above this 6800 support, or excuse me, resistance. This is key. We've got to break above this resistance. I would like to do it before the weekly candle closes out at the end of today. That'd be a very bullish looking sign. We're just gonna have to wait and see if that happens. I do have another count, however, and I'm gonna pause this. I'll just pause this and redraw it so it'll take a little bit less time. Okay, guys, this is my secondary count. You can see this is a shortened 5th wave. Obviously, that happens all the time in Bitcoin. It wouldn't be unusual at all. And if this is, in fact, the correct count, if this is, in fact, the case, then more than likely we are in an ABC correction. This was what I discussed yesterday. I said if price broke up, we're more than likely in an ABC correction. I'm not making this my primary for now just because of how perfectly that running triangle came into play. But however, if this is, in fact, the case, we are more than likely in an expanded flat, just meaning that the B wave comes up higher. More than likely we'll get to the C wave should be coming down somewhere around the A wave territory. If this is, in fact, the correct count, we should see something like this when price breaks to the downside. and we're just going to have to wait and see if this is how it plays out. But there are a couple other ways we can count that, depending on price movement, guys. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. Remember, Elliott wave, as long as you're following within the parameters of Elliott wave theory and the rules that it outlines, the waves are actually rather subjective, and oftentimes you don't know what the direct count is until after price, until things play out, until price movement plays out. So we're just gonna have to wait and see how this plays out, guys. Once we do break above this 6800 support, resistance, if we do, I should say, if and when we break above this resistance, guys, the next resistance, the next major resistance line isn't until we get up to about 7625 to 7700. That is a nice little demand zone up there, resistance supply zone up in that area, and that would be there isn't a whole lot of resistance between these 2 points. So, I would expect if we do decisively break above that 6800 resistance line there, I would expect price to move at a more rapid pace than it has been up to this 7625 to 7700 supply zone or resistance zone up here. So we're just going to have to wait and see how that plays out, guys. Looking at our bigger picture, I still believe that we are in a WXY pattern. Finishing up with an A, B, C, D, E. As I explained yesterday, guys, if you missed my video yesterday, I went into how I believe the market is weakening. These guppy rallies are getting weaker. We get a series of lower highs. I still believe that this massive descending resistance line, we're going to find resistance, which is why I'm going to count this as a D wave coming down for an E wave for one more, unfortunately, one more guppy rally before it does take off. That's just my prediction. I hope I'm wrong, guys. As I said a million times, I'm a bull at heart. So I would love to see us break above this descending resistance line. That's going to be a massive win for the bulls if that happens. And the next line we're going to be looking at is taking out 10,000, which was the prior high of the prior rally. So we're just going to have to wait and see how it plays out, guys. As of now, I will say there is one bullish looking sign. We're on the daily chart now. If I pull out here, zoom in, let me get rid of this A, B, C, D, E count. If I zoom in, for those of you that are familiar with Andrew's pitchfork, it just gives you kind of a good guide of the trajectory of price and whether or not price is maintaining in the same trajectory. And what we do is we come from our swing low to the next pivot high and pivot low, and we draw out what's called an Andrew's pitchfork. This just is a general guideline to see, how price is moving, to see how bullish the market is looking. If it can remain within this pitchfork, that's generally, a bullish sign. And we can see it tried to test the median line quite a few times, was rejected, broke above a couple times, but we haven't had an open and closed candle on the daily above the median line quite yet. However, we can see when price pulled back to the outer point of the outer bands of the Andrew's pitchfork, we can see that the bears were unable to break through. The bulls defended it very, very well, and we can see it just kind of scooted right on the edge, and now we're looking like we're trying to tend back to the upside, hopefully back to the median line and maybe above. So that is a bullish indication. That is a very bullish looking sign. And we're just hopefully we can maintain this trajectory. Hopefully it can maintain within that Andrew's pitchfork, and we can continue to the upside. I want to show you one more thing, guys, before we let you go. If we pull out the 821 and 55-day EMA, again, we're on the daily chart. The 8-day EMA is in blue, 21 is in yellow, and 55-day EMA is in pink. We can see that the 8-day EMA broke above just slightly the 21-day EMA. If it can continue up above and start to fan out, we can get a decisive break above, which means that we continue up. That's going to be a rather bullish indication, guys. We can see that price way back here broke above the 8-day EMA, which is bullish. It was the 21 was acting as resistance. It finally broke above a few days ago, and the 21-day EMA has now been acting as support for the last few weeks, for the last few days, almost a week now. And you can see it's just now starting to break above the 21-day EMA as well. As the 8-day EMA is transitioning up above, creating the 8-day EMA as resistance, as support now, and hopefully that trajectory continues up, and we'd like to see on the daily chart of the price to break above this 55-day EMA. If it does do that, that's going to be a very, very bullish sign of strength, guys. So as of right now, things are looking fairly good. I'm not convinced, as I said, guys, that we are in a long-term uptrend, but a short-term uptrend is looking more and more likely. We'll have to wait and see how this plays out, guys. In the meantime, that's all I've got. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. I would certainly appreciate an upvote or a restream if you are so inclined, if you have enjoyed this content. Also, feel free to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. You'll find the information at the bottom of the article here on Steemit. And until next time, guys, I hope you guys have a great weekend. Take care. Make sure you're trading safe. This is Workin, signing out.